Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and today we are going to take a look at Demiurge, or rather his loyalty or willingness to betray Ainz Ooal Gown, the Overlord of the Great Tomb of Nezarec, for his own personal benefit. But before we are going to do so, let me thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. Also I made another video about Goblin Slayer, or to be more specific, about his gear, so please check it out, link is in the description. And with all of that said, let's dive into the reason for why it is commonly assumed that Ainz Ooal Gown will be betrayed by Demiurge at some point. And there are quite a few reasons for it. First and foremost, we have this evil karma of -500, meaning he is so evil and vile, all the way down to his very extraordinary, insidious core, that he might do just anything. And he's also a demon, and they are not known throughout Western, Eastern, Southern or Nordic mythology and beliefs to be loyal, honest, and the most trustworthy of beings. Furthermore, he was created by Overlord, a player literally obsessed with the concept of evil, and treason, betrayal and backstabbing is also considered pretty evil. Furthermore, Ainz Ooal Gown's character, and by extent the entirety of the Great Tomb of Nezarec, is also at least in part reminiscent of the 9 hells from Dungeons and Dragons, and basically every devil there believes in the idea that it is better to rule in hell than to serve in heaven. Hence why they all want to rule the 9 hells for themselves. Granted, they usually gain more and more power via promotion for good jobs, spreading their own type of evil, lawful evil that is. But ultimately, the only way to obtain the position of the supreme ruler of the 9 hells is not to wait until Asmodeus dies because he's immortal. And therefore, treason, backstabbing, and any other means, maybe even open rebellion to replace Asmodeus with oneself, is pretty much the only way to gain absolute power. Furthermore, the NPCs of Nezarec are loyal to their own creator first and foremost, while every other of the supreme beings, the players who created Nezarec's NPCs, are coming second or third, or last, depending on the relationship the creators had with another. For example, since Touch Me and Overlord were so different, one good guy and one evil-loving edgelord, Demiurge and Sebas constantly work to undermine and hurt another, especially the demon. For example, when Demiurge suggested to invite Tuara to his happy farm after Sebas kissed and saved the girl, he very well knew that while Tuara would be kept physically intact, her mental well-being would, even if she just worked there, be completely destroyed. And again, given Demiurge's own deviousness, this man in red might also try to attempt to do the same thing to Ainz, or one of his minions. So given all of these beliefs and intel, is Demiurge going to betray his current master in the name of Overlord, or even of himself? And the answer is an overwhelming no. Demiurge is truly evil, and greatly enjoys inflicting harm, pain, as well as psychological torture onto his victims. And he also finds discussing the happy farm amusing, although he doesn't realize that his master don't understand the wordplay and word games when he, for example, talks about bipedal sheep. But this malice does not extend to the NPCs, or rather to the other NPCs that were not created by Touch Me. For example, he was very kind to Mara in the first volume of Overlord, and he also regularly enjoys to drink with Cocytus after an evil deed well done. And just like any other NPCs of the Great Tomb of Nezarec, he is bound to serve, eternally and loyally, and he also does so with a fiercely intelligent outlook. For example, when Albedo and Demiurge discussed what they would have to do if Ainz Ooal Gown would perish, Albedo would immediately try to revive him, while Demiurge would be more cautious, and he would rather revive him later, in safety, than for example on their battlefield condition, in order to prevent harm. And this put the two at odds, and into quite a conflict, and Lupus Regina on guard, because she was quite scared. But above all else, we know that Demiurge is loyal to Ainz because we know his own thoughts and feelings towards the matter. While in the anime, the exchange with Eclair still happened, it lost most of its significance, due to the anime not letting us hear Demiurge's own thoughts and feelings about loyalty. While in the novel, we were not only told that Eclair was willing to overtake the Great Tomb of Nezarec and become Overlord himself by means of cleaning toilets, but we also know how abhorred not only the general population of Nezarec were about these plans, but also how Demiurge only tolerates this behavior because Eclair had been created with that very desire to take the throne of kings for himself by the very supreme beings that he serves. And therefore, his attempts at taking over Nezarec were sanctioned and allowed. Otherwise, Demiurge would not have been so understanding about the butler's plans. And finally, and this to me is the biggest point, Demiurge wished to have been created by Ainz Ooal Gown instead of Ulbertalain Odell, something that even shocked and irritated Albedo, who is madly in love with Momonga. This is due to the reason that Ulbertalain Odell, who was very much a power player, had been rather impressed with the role-playing character build of Ainz, or rather Momonga, as he had been known back then, hence why he created Demiurge, to be basically his own version of Ainz, or rather as the Overlord he played, a fiercely intelligent strategist blessed with demonic wisdom, who leads creatures far more powerful than himself into battle. And this is the reason why Ainz will never be betrayed by Demiurge, and while Albedo, who might do a little bit of well-intended betrayal herself, found the idea that Demiurge would be in control of the soon-to-be-established spy agency of Nezarec so unsettling. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Bad Guy Yee, Ben C, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Dystopia II, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Haster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, Chromius, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Perdy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.